Hi, I'm Lawrence Watkins here once again with Al Duncan, and we're back with you once again for another great pro speaking tip. So, Al, what are we talking about today?
Okay, today we're going to talk about a topic that any professional speaker would love. That topic is profit centers, all the different ways that professional speakers can generate income.
Yeah, we were talking about this off camera, and we were thinking about how many speakers only think that the only way that they can make money is by doing a keynote speech. Maybe some even think about training or some type of panel discussion.
Mhm.
But as a speaker, there are many more ways to make money. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a lot more ways. Here's the thing. As a speaker, some people think you're getting paid to talk. You're just thinking, I'm getting paid to use my voice. I'm getting paid to stand up and entertain the audience. Let's look at this a little bit differently. For me, at the basic level, what a speaker is someone who sells information. Okay, so people don't pay for its information in its rawest form normally. You can go to Google and get tons of free information. There's no shortage of it. When I say raw information at Great Pro Speakers, we always break raw information down into your ideas, your expertise, your experience, your stories, and your research. Okay, so you got all kinds of information. Now, if you look at yourself as a seller of information, then you will realize that people don't just pay for raw information. What they pay for is the processing, the packaging, and the delivery of the information. Well, there's a lot of ways that you can process, package, and deliver your message other than just standing on the stage and giving a keynote or other than just writing and selling your book. So
Mhm.
these profit centers can help you build a great business and help you generate revenues and still make money even if you're not on the stage and while you're sleeping. Very important.
Yeah, that is really important. I think a lot of speakers get burned out because they feel as if they have to do 100, engagements a year to make a living.
Yeah.
But then if they just diversified, how they share their information and share their knowledge with people, they could, definitely cut that number of engagements down so they can spend more time with their family and really just structure a life that they want to live instead of being beholden to the next keynote speech.
hmm Yeah, I agree. And trying to do 100, 150 speaking engagements in a year, uh, you might like that the first few years in the business. I don't know many speakers that like it long term. The airport is
Right.
a lonely place.
Hmm.
And getting stuck and doing all those things is a lonely place. And ultimately, anybody knows it's when you're building wealth. Uh, at some point in time, you want to stop trading dollars for hours. That means you
Hmm.
shouldn't be, I work an hour, I get paid this dollar amount. You want to be able to get paid when you're not actually working. That's called residual income or recurring income, things like that. And so, if you really want to make that happen as a professional speaker, you have to understand about profit centers that are available to you.
Yeah, let's just jump right in. So you came up with this awesome mind map that we're turning into a special report. You want to go
Mhm.
through some of the slides of that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So we got a new special report coming out. It's going to be free. It's for all members of Great Pro Speakers, whether you're a free member or a premium member. But it's called Profit Centers, and it's just various ideas, various ways that you will be able to generate income and continue to grow your business. So yeah, so let's give them a sneak peek about this, a sneak peek into the special report, real quick.
All right, perfect. Can you see the slide?
I can see it. Yep.
All right, so this is recording. So, we break it down at the most basic level between products and services, right?
hmm
So you have your GPS services, which includes things like speaking, and we'll get into coaching and some other things as well. But then you have like your products that encompass things such as books, DVDs, and those types of things as well. So
hmm
we'll jump right into these services. We think there are four major types of services. So there's the speaking, the consulting, the coaching, and the content development. So do you want to talk about each one of these a little bit more, Al?
Yeah, let's get into them. These are the four main areas. Now, here's my thing. So when I walk into a speaking engagement, or better yet, when I am booked for a speaking engagement, when first began to speak, and I was first building my business, I used to think, okay, I got the gig. Now I got to sell some books. You know, that's how I'm gonna make some extra money off of this. Or I'm gonna
Mhm.
sell some CDs or something to go along with this. And that was pretty much my whole technique around generating income. It was, I'm getting a gig. Can I get another gig out of that? Do you need me to do an extra gig the next day? Do you need me to do a parent seminar in addition to speaking to your students? Do you need to do something for the teachers in addition to doing something for the students? Do you need me to talk to your managers and supervisors in addition to talking to your normal employees? This is what I used to think all the time. I was always speaking in products, speaking in products. Well, now I'm a little different. So when I see a client now, I begin to realize that I have information, I have expertise, I have different ways, different profit centers that I can use to generate money, but also to help my clients. So if I get booked for a gig, I'm not just thinking, how can I get another gig? I'm thinking, all right, if a school brings me in, I'm thinking, is there an opportunity to provide some coaching for the principal?
Mhm.
Is there an opportunity to provide the staff with some consulting in the areas of school engagement or school safety and other things that I have expertise in? Is there an area where I can help the school develop some content? You know what? School's very busy. They don't have time to develop a leadership program. Maybe I can come in with the teachers and I can talk to one of the counselors or somebody that's in charge of advisement or something like that. And I can sit down and help them develop a leadership curriculum that they can use to engage the students. So I am able to, off of one client, without having to get that client to bring me in for another speaking engagement, which is very challenging to do sometimes, I have found that I can generate a lot more revenue, a lot more income, and build a better relationship with that particular client by looking at all four of these areas instead of just focusing on the speaking area.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's brilliant in terms of the way that you're able to do that. Because in addition to being able to offer the client many different types of things, you can also combine the different services that they're available to upsell the client in terms of doing more business with you
Mm-hmm.
as an information and as an expert. So we'll just go deeper into one of these. So let's go deeper into
Okay. Yeah. And while you're
the
pulling that up, I'm going to say now, I didn't just jump in and get the bright idea one day. Okay. While they're on the phone, hey, y'all need some consulting? No, what I'm saying is I looked at what I had to offer. I looked at other ways I could help the school or help the organization or help the university. And I said, how can I package my information and how can I offer my expertise in a different manner? And then I sat down ahead of time and learned what it would take to become a consultant. I need to learn what are the ins and outs of that. What deliverables are they expecting from me? Is there a different type of contract that I need? So I went and learned these things that we're teaching you and great pro speakers, so that when I made this offer to the client, I was seen as just as much an expert consultant as I was seen as just as much as an expert speaker. So that's
right.
very important to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, most definitely. And on the screen now is the speaking mind map that you came up with, and it's quite detailed. And just so the audience knows, we have mind maps for all of the different things that we talked about. So we have one for speaking,
Mm-hmm.
coaching, consulting, and content development on the services side, and then
Mm-hmm.
we have many on the product side as well. But we don't have time to go through all of them today. But we just kind of want to give you a sneak peek of what they look like in the special report.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So
So I'm looking at this speaking. Any of these you want to run through, Lawrence?
yeah. So people always know about the keynotes. Let's talk a little bit more about the virtual, kind of like what we're doing now in a way, right?
Yeah, so that's another way to look at it. You say, okay, so you tell me, Al, that if a client hires me for a live speaking engagement, I might be able to generate some additional income from them by offering them a virtual type of speaking engagement. And I say, sure, you can. I've done it. I have done it many times. I've gone to an after school program. I've spoken to dealt with workforce development programs, and I've said, you know what? Had a great time doing this 3-hour half-day seminar with you all. And what I like to do is do some follow-up programming with your program participants. Let's set that up via some webinars. We'll record the webinars. We'll make them available to the job center, and you can have the students come in, they can do the Q&A, and then you all can use them as part of the group discussion. And then we come up with a price for me recording these seminars or doing them live. And then I was able to upsell, make some extra money off of offering them some virtual speaking as well. So that's an example of that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an example of that. And then another one that stuck out to me in the mind map is the emceeing portion.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of speakers, don't really think about that as an option. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you right now, actually, if there is an event that happens every year, if there's a large student conference, there's some large event where they're always bringing all the students in and they're bringing multiple speakers in, I want to tell you, actually, the most profitable and long-term position you could have in that event is the MC. The MC of the event, actually, that is the speaker who comes out, opens it up, maybe does some icebreakers, some opening games with the students, maybe does a little short 10-minute talk with them about what to expect today, and also getting them excited and prepped for the day. And the MC is the one that's responsible for introducing the various keynote speakers. That MC gets to come back every year. Every year, I've seen plenty of people do it, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I got paid, I don't know, let's say you got paid $3,500, $5,000 or something to be the MC, and you're looking around like, well, no, the keynote speaker came in, they paid one keynote speaker $7,500. Okay, that's cool, but the keynote speaker is doing this once and it's done with, whereas you could be the MC for that event for the next 5 or 6 years. I've seen it happen all the time. Not only that, you're the MC, so actually you get the most face time with the students, with the audience in general, whatever audience it is, but I'm thinking of students right now. You get the most face time with them, and not only do you get the most face time with them, you then are able to get the most spin-off business, because a lot of times you're the one that they know the best or they have established the best connection with. So understand, being an MC can be very profitable, especially if you negotiate the deal correctly.
Yeah. And with Great Black Speakers, we book quite a few MCs where organizations are looking for someone to help, host and manage that event and make sure that the event runs smoothly. So that's something that a lot of speakers don't really think about.
Yeah.
However, it's definitely a profit center when it comes to actual speaking. And of course, we're not going to have time to go into all of these. We just wanted to share with you.
Yeah, just share a few of them.
MC. Yeah, just a few of them. There's also seminars, being a guest lecturers, training and workshops. So a lot of these, some speakers, know about, but then many of these profit centers, just aren't really known because people focus so much on the keynotes.
Right. And there's another one down there that I didn't know about. I found out maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, a speaker that I met, he and I were doing some seminars for the same organization. His name is Dave. And he started telling me about voiceover. So I had no idea about being a voiceover artist. But when you think about it, you're a speaker. You probably have a great voice. You're probably speak well. Maybe you're very good. You have good diction, and you enunciate very well. And so perhaps you would be a good voiceover artist. And he found that he was able to do a lot of books, audio books. He found that he went out and did some research on the industry. He got him an agent, and he got booked to come and be a voiceover artist, and even managed to find the right connections to be able to produce his own audio book. So there's something else, and that's a profit center I had never even thought about. But you're using your voice, so why not put your voice to use in other ways as well?
Yeah, and I think there's certain platforms to help you find those types of gigs. I can't remember the name of it right now. I think it might be Voice Bunny or something like that.
Okay.
But there are a few out there that help you find voiceover artist types of gigs. So I'll find that and I'll put it in the description in the link below. So so that's the speaking side of things. Let's get on to the profit centers on the product side of things. So let me pull up my screen and I'll share it with you in a second. And of course, we can't get through all of this stuff in one short video that we're doing today. However, in the Great Pro Speakers course, we'll be creating a video. By the time you watch this, it should already be there. that goes through each of these different mind map slides very in depth. So if you want like a full in-depth review of how you can make money in different profit centers there are as a professional speaker, check out the Great Pro Speakers course at www.greatprospeakers.com.
Yep. And we already have our course on the content assembly line, which is what you'll
Right.
need to produce, to be able to produce content for these profit centers.
Right. So let me go ahead and pull up the screen. And here's the product slide.
Yep. Okay.
So when we're walking through this, there are a few different ways that you can make money. You can make money through video, through audio, through your paraphernalia. So those things like T-shirts, mugs, pins. You have your software, and then you also have your written products such as your books and that type of thing. So.
Yeah, and obviously the ones on here that people always think of are probably your videos, definitely the videos, and definitely the books. You don't find too many speakers who aren't trying to do something in the written area.
Right.
But they're even within the written area, and we break this down in the special report. There are other profit centers, a lot more than just a book. Okay, one example is we're talking about a special report right now. That's a written product. So that's one example of that. In videos, we go into that as well. For this one, just to give people something to think about, I'd like to talk a little bit about paraphernalia and maybe software. So yeah, let's talk about those for a second. Let's look at software. You're like, software? I'm a speaker, man. What do I know about software? Right? So let's look at this software one real quick. So let's say you're a productivity speaker. I speak on productivity. I help people get things done. I keep them motivated, help them beat procrastination and things of that nature. So should I only have a book for sale? Should I only have a video for sale? I say, sure, but you should also have a calendar for sale. How can you be a productivity speaker, but you don't have some type of calendar that helps people get stuff organized? Whether it is an app, which would be awesome. There's nothing wrong with you saying, hey, by the way, everybody, you can go download my app. It's free or it's 99 cents. It doesn't cost that much to get apps developed nowadays. There's a ton of software for that. And there are also other types of productivity tools with checklists and things of that nature. Now, I understand that. Here's the thing. Of course, you wouldn't try to necessarily start a business selling productivity tools, because then you got to compete with people like Todoist and Trello, and Google. Who wants to do that? Of course, you don't want to do that. But as a speaker, if you're up in front of the room and you're talking, or somebody is part of your virtual seminar, your subscription site or something like that, you should have a self-contained product for them. If it's a productivity, and I'm sticking with productivity because that's a good one, to have a calendar. But you could also have a calendar that has your quotes at the top of each one. I've done that. I've had calendars come out with Dunkin' Nuggets at the top of them. So that's an example for you. Another one is we had this template generator. So if you are teaching people how to make sales copy, if you're teaching people, you're giving real estate seminars, you're giving some type of financial seminars and things of that nature, why wouldn't you have something that's like, hey, here's a template, you can put your budget in right here. It costs I don't know, a couple dollars to get this, or it's free as part of your subscription. We also have something over here that generates a budget for you automatically. So that's an example of something like that. And you got some along that line too, Lawrence?
And actually, just going back to the calendars thing, we made quite a significant amount of money, my brother and I, boys, with our My Black Wealth Year calendar. And we have a course that goes along with it that talks about financial empowerment and money management for each month of the year. So it's a subscription course that goes along with a calendar that people could purchase as well.
Yeah, nice.
So So it kind of mixes, the software piece, the course piece that we talked about before, into a cohesive package that people can buy. So mixing products and services is definitely something that's that's doable. And software and also just products in general is a way to do that with your paraphernalia.
Yep, I agree. Lawrence, come back on screen for a second.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So, and another one that I like to talk about is I like the assessments also. A lot of people
Hmm.
do personality training. So I have seen some people who do the personality training and then they're able to make money because they're selling the Myers-Briggs whatever, or they're selling whatever other type of personality thing there is. Or you're doing diversity training and there's some type of assessment that comes along with that. So these are things that can help you make money, and some of them you may provide for free because it adds more value to what you're doing. So you're providing it for free, but it allows you to charge more money because you're saying, you know what, by you getting a membership here, not only do you get me speaking or me coaching or me delivering these, written reports, or you get my blog articles or whatever, but you also get a calendar. You also get this online assessment is free. And I'll send the results back to you. We'll calculate them for you and tell you exactly, what personality type you are and things of that nature. All of those things are what you call sometimes added value. So I want to be careful. When I say profit centers, it does not mean necessarily that you have to charge for everything that's in the profit center. Some of these things you're using so that you can charge more money for your services. So you might be able to charge more money for your keynote because on the back end, you provide via my website, there's 2 hours worth of videos that your audience members can have. So that allows you to charge a little bit more, ask more money for your speaking, for your keynote as well.
Right. And no, I definitely think software is a way that you can, definitely be an add-on to your core product of speaking and
Mm-hmm.
selling your information.
Yeah.
And I think another add-on is paraphernalia that's really important. So you want to
Yeah.
talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I'll
see him hanging
pull it
up
up.
right behind me. There's some
Yeah.
posters hanging up on the wall. Well, I had my Dunkin' Nuggets, and I was like, will people really buy posters? And they did. They started buying posters, soft skills posters. So I was able to sell them. I was able to sell them along with my books and some things of that nature, and upsell. I had one
Mhm.
organization used to bring me in all the time. They still do. Uh, the district attorney's office up in Essex County in the Boston area. And they would come in and bring all the schools from the district. And each
Mhm.
school would then get a set of posters to take back to the school. So I would get paid to come speak. They're buying the books for the school. So every student who was in attendance would get a book. And on top of that, they're sending back a set of all of my posters, not just one of them. Each school got a full set of all the posters, and all of
Wow.
this was paid for. So by them sending the posters back to the school, all of a sudden, my posters are hanging up in schools that I've never spoken at. And a little while later, or sometimes a year later, maybe even 2 years later, I get a call from the school and say, hey, you know what, we'd like to bring you in to speak. Some of our students saw you a few years ago at a leadership event. We got your poster hanging up here in the office, and we were talking about it, and we'd like to bring you in and allow you to come speak to the students as well. So there's a ton of things you can do with paraphernalia. I have gone into organizations that had no money for a
Mhm.
speaker because that paying for a speaker is not one of the line items they can justify. But I tell you what, they bought 500 cents bags. They bought 500 posters. They bought 500 books. They bought 250 T-shirts. Okay, and I'm talking about one group. Now, when I added all this added up to more than I would have made if I got paid for a keynote anyway, because it was a youth organization. So there's
Mhm.
a ton of money that you can make selling some of these things. And I'm not saying that you have to keep them in stock. I don't keep a bunch of them
Mhm.
in stock. These things are very easy to get made and produced and get them drop shipped, order them as needed, and they're very inexpensive. But everything that you're looking at on this slide, I have seen somebody make a good chunk of money off of selling or adding to their package that they were already delivering.
Right. And I think that's a topic for a future video is how to set up things like Shopify stores or
Yes.
e-commerce sites so you can start selling some of the paraphernalia items that you have mentioned here. So
Yep, I agree.
yeah, so we'll talk about that in a future video.
Okay.
But I think we're running out of time on this video. So
Yeah. Let's get ready to wrap it up. So you come back on screen, Lawrence.
yeah, I know, right? Can you remind me? Hold on a second.
Let them see your beautiful face, man.
Yeah.
Right. So like we said, we just wanted to give you all some ideas as to how you can make more money off of being a professional speaker without having to have more speaking engagements, because that's challenging sometimes. So just keep in mind that you sell information. That's what you do. And people pay for the processing, the packaging, and the delivery of the information. And how you do that, the better you do that, and the further along in the process that you are of doing that, the more money you get to charge them a lot of times. And also, the faster your business will grow.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's a wrap, Lawrence. Anything to add to that?
No, that's a
Okay.
wrap. I guess the only other thing I would say is make sure you check out our full course at greatprospeakers.com.
Yep.
That's www.greatprospeakers.com. We'll have this full special report for you. But then in addition to that, there are many other sections and things that we cover, such as content development, email marketing, social media marketing, and so many other things as well. So check out greatprospeakers.com if you want the full comprehensive course on how to be successful in the speaking industry.
Yep. So this is Al Duncan on behalf of Lawrence Watkins. We will see you all soon again on another great pro tip. Until then, be safe, be well, and be blessed. Thanks for enjoying another Great Pro Speakers production. Keep in mind that members of GreatProSpeakers.com have access to dozens of hours of video and audio programs on topics like email and social media marketing, branding, creating products, how to get more gigs, and other great topics that will help you to transform your expertise into cash. So visit GreatProSpeakers.com today to get started with your membership for free.